Is that his boss, or is that
No,
someone that
that's-
works under him, or,
Well, like I say, he's the government rep,
okay.
Mike is.
The other guy's more.
The other guy is
Getting the job
operations,
done?
hands-on.
Okay. So
supervising.
the drivers, he talks to drivers. and
He's in
trucks
charge of
and-
the
okay,
drivers
good,
and
good.
stuff. That's right. That's correct. I'm gonna let Clintisha pay the bills when she gets here.
Okay.
She's gonna be a little bit late.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I'm going to reappoint Chris Esquire to the Planning and Zoning Commission.
He agreed?
Yeah,
Okay, all right.
oh yeah. Then we have the janitorial bid, and we'll talk about that briefly here if you'd like.
So what happened?
Well,
We didn't get Exhibit A. so
What
go
had
ahead,
happened
back
was-
up.
what had happened was we had one bidder. Unfortunately, one of the forms they were supposed to use in the bidding process, they did not.
Okay,
So we have to reject all bids and renegotiate. That's what this resolution's gonna let you do down here below. I've already renegotiated per Shane as to what he told us to do. So basically tonight, you'll be accepting their bid and authorizing me to enter into a contract on the renegotiated contract. They lowered their bid a very small amount, which was
but the
part of it.
service times and locations are exactly the same as what we
Yeah.
did before?
Oh, everything's exactly the same. It's just,
Okay.
it was kind of a clerical thing, and it's really our fault, so.
So I looked through those afterwards, and some things I thought were, this is just an independent person looking at it, some things I quite frankly thought probably were cheap. And then others I thought, okay, they're more in line. So I wondered when this happened, I thought maybe the guy woke up and said, what have I agreed to do?
Well, Eric can come talk to us about that as well. We had the people that are gonna be performing the service walk through all the facilities yesterday.
The second time.
Well, these are the actual,
Oh, the workers.
the workers, the
Oh,
ones that are going to be doing it, and they're local people.
Mm-hmm.
And that's great, it's contributing to the local economy. Eric?
This is a large company that negotiates, gets these contracts, and then they hire the contractors, and they put them in these positions to do these jobs.
Oh,
So,
okay, okay.
they have 2 or 3 in the area. They picked this one out. So they wanted to do a walkthrough, and it was actually Wednesday that we did well, it's yesterday. That's been a weird week. But yeah, we walked every facility, showed them exactly what we wanted. You know, the biggest concern was, of course, the Rock School and the library, make sure we were on page, in line with what we want to do. I explained our expectations, in the prioritizing, that there had to be a prioritizing, it's the public spaces and things of that nature. And given, we've got to give them a little bit of time to get accustomed to our facilities, and I understand that. We'll have one line of communication to that contractor, which will be through me, so that there's an issue. That way we don't have 10 Indians or 10 chiefs, and, you know, so if there's a problem,
So many city staff people see something that.
they
they're
direct
just-
it to
they
me, and
just
I'll,
bring
we'll
it.
contact them.
They'll get with Eric, and Eric
Yeah.
communicate that.
And that's just to streamline, that way we don't get mixed. She's gonna do, it's a team, there's I think there's 3 of them that do it. They'll do this facility, particularly.
and Thursday.
Yeah, the secure rooms ahead of time before we close. And then the library will be after Monday and Thursday for the library as well, too. Rock School Center and the library. So, I did tell them.
Are they cat fans?
Oh, the cat, you know, she did ask.
Did they meet Sock?
She asked, she said, can the cat go out? And I think she meant, she was referring to behind the counter, because it was behind the counter at the time. And yes, she can go into in the library, but not out the door, you know, so not down the hall. So, you know, we'll see. You know, it's they'll get used to it. So I feel pretty, you know, we got
Some
to
people
start
are
somewhere.
allergic. That's the reason why I was.
Well, she
curious
didn't,
about that.
you know, she didn't balk. She's a nurse. I think she's a works from home, as what she told me, except for 2 days a month.
Consultation type work, I think.
Yeah. So,
So this company, they contract it to another company.
yeah, they contract to subcontractors is what they do. They have a list of subcontractors, Vanguard does, because it's a pretty large company. And they vet each subcontractor because they have their standards, and you've seen their list of priorities. So they had a field supervisor with her. She came with me. She said, "I'll be your contact point as well." So
So if you had issues with one of these individuals or whatever,
go to her, and we replace them.
okay, all right.
So, yeah, that was that. You know, she said if you're feeling uncomfortable talking to them, bringing issues to the group that's performing the work, I'm your person. So, I felt pretty good. You know, I mean, we're gonna have to find out. You know, we'll have to see how well they work.
That's,
And,
It'll
that's
take
not
at
an
least a
unusual
month.
arrangement.
it will.
It'll take at least a month. It's like doing the grass cutting business. The first time I do your yard, second time, third time, fourth time, I got it dialed in.
Yeah.
And you learn the facilities, you learn how to clean in a process. So we're gonna give them a good month and see how they do, and address things along the way if
Yeah.
indeed things do come up.
She was big on communication. She said that. She said to call her Mimi. She did tell me her name, but she didn't have a card.
She's like the lead person, because you said there was
She
three.
is. There are 3 on her team. There are her husband, and then there's another lady that works with them. And she was going to send this other lady by herself because we wanted it. They thought we had to do the whole place before 4 o'clock here. And then when I walked it, I explained to them that the secure rooms and here wanted this done prior to Thursday night, you know, the meeting. So, yeah, I feel like a month. Let them get the feel, because this place is behind. You know that.
Right.
That place is behind.
Yeah, they
I
are.
think they've done a pretty good job at PHCC keeping it up because we have so many rentals there. So I'm willing to, you know, we got to let them.
Well, that was one of the ones that I noticed on the money aspect was, well, there and PHCC to some extent, but how big that is
Yeah.
for the amount of money that they had. So, I mean, I know.
Well,
the
they're doing
traffic in the
PHCC
library-
once a week. We feel like that's all it requires up there. But at least once a week, all the bathrooms get gone through, the sweep and the mopping. And there's some other things they'll do here and there, here and there. But I feel good about it all. But this is the process we have in front of us
Yeah.
because of the snafu with the bidding process. But if someone will offer that resolution tonight, that allows me to enter into the contract with the guys, they start Monday.
Yeah.
So, is there anybody willing to offer that resolution tonight?
I can offer that.
One more can I ask one more thing? Okay, so it just, if we have an issue, something, who we gonna go to? Let's just say we have a claim, something's happened, let's just,
We go to the Vanguard, and they're represented, this field supervisor, and I got her name and her card and their
so
information.
Vanguard is going to,
They guaranteeing this. Oh, yes. Yes,
Okay,
ma'am.
they're
Yes,
the
ma'am.
one that's gonna be on hook.
Yes, that's
Okay.
exactly right.
Absolutely.
That's-
All right.
Yeah, they're the bonds work through them, you know, so these people are bonded, so I still didn't want to take a chance, you know, I mean, I didn't want to open up our secure, we didn't feel comfortable doing that. So,
Right.
I think that we did the right thing there, but yes, if we have a claim of any sort, so there's we can, you know, there, at any point, you should know this, for lack of service, and we can enlist our friends here on the end, and we can rectify all this. So,
Kelly will bring down the hammer.
yeah, she will. So.
She is known as that handler.
Kelly the
though.
Hammer.
I
Kelly
feel pretty
the
comfortable
hammer.
starting, finding out where we're at. You know, I don't want to we're not turning them loose where there's valuables, let's just say. You know, understand what I mean? I mean, I want to make sure that we discuss it with Allison, make sure that we're covering everything that we need to over there. Don't want to leave, you know, something out there that we should have addressed. And so we're going to address that at a staff meeting Tuesday to make sure that we're all on board. But give them a minute, give them a month, you know, and if you don't know me, I don't mind staying after them and holding accountability to them. I really don't mind that, so I will.
Well, and from the perspective of the people doing the work, I know they'd appreciate, like, say, you coming to them first.
Yes.
Like, say, if a certain waste can's being missed and that sort of thing.
Absolutely.
Nobody likes to have their boss called for something trivial.
No, yeah.
If they don't do it, then you escalate.
And that's what I told her. I said, look, I don't expect you to walk in this place and it walks out. You know, let's work our way through it. And if we're not making mistakes, we're not trying. You know, and I absolutely will. As long as we don't make the same ones over and over, we're okay. So, but we needed it so bad, and I really need it over there too. You know that. So.
Yeah, and we're also developing a plan for the near future to put a dumpster at the Rock School Center complex, because that's really what needs to be over there. And so we'll have to,
So that,
Do
y'all don't have a
something-
dumpster for public works or anything?
We keep roll-offs over there.
I'm talking
Waste
about
management
trash
brings a
dumpsters
roll-off
for the
in,
facility.
because we collect a lot of, debris from around the city. But,
We're still using cans over there.
Oh, that's right, 'cause they
That's-
talk about, they roll it out to the street and everything.
And so probably what we'll do, at least in my mind, is we'll put a dumpster over there and it'll be behind a secured fence. We would need to put in a new automated gate on this end, and that way the people can get in, empty the dumpster. Probably eliminate this one back here and just take the trash from here over to there. Cause this one gets pretty full.
Well, and it's
Not with
unsi-
our
it's uns-
trash.
And it's unsightly
No.
too.
It's an eyesore.
It
Yeah,
is
yeah,
unsightly.
yeah.
I agree. So that's on down the line, probably a month away in conversation. So
Well, that would, so all you'd have to do is just have them relocate the thing, then it wouldn't be any change. So the gate's your
That's right.
biggest issue.
that's right. The gate, put
Gate
in a
and
new
the pad.
gate and some new fencing
Pad,
on
the
that.
pad for that
Pad,
guy to
okay.
come in.
And put in a pad and a wall and do that one right over there.
Yeah,
where it's
needs to
behind
be
the
a little more hidden, if you know what I mean, over
Yeah,
there, since it's on the backside. Plus, we probably can't do that till we're complete with the roofing project, because it would be hard to come in there and, and that's right on the horizon, so.
Yeah. So just thinking down the line. All right, so any more questions about the cleaning service? Well, you just showed up, so.
She snuck in.
Fashionably late.
It's the Robbie Roberts Award.
You win the Robbie Roberts Award tonight.
It's an honor.
This is the honorary award.
Under new business, we have an ordinance regarding the 2 tax holidays in one ordinance. So if we have someone that would like to offer that,
I'll offer them up for you.
okay. And then the last thing we have is our lease agreement that we're preparing to enter into on the Fawcett Cutoff House. We needed to have a document that supported everything we were doing, and you had that in front of you. And so we need that tonight.
Okay, so, we didn't get this in advance. Is this
No.
basically the same thing as what we have at the other place?
More or less,
Okay.
a little bit different, but more or less the same. And we know the next leasor at the Powell House is going to get a different lease as well.
Okay, so is this more in line with what you would anticipate the future Powell one to be, or?
More or less.
I thought we were gonna put an on-site
We are.
manager or something.
We are, but what we've discovered is he needs to pay a nominal fee in order for it not to be quote unquote a benefit. Needs to actually pay to live there. And so
Otherwise
we
it's
figured,
income.
we figured out a way to offset that and do some different things, but this makes everything official, it gets everything right. Gives us an out to, if the employee were to leave the city, obviously this benefit wouldn't exist for him anymore in this way.
So how do the utilities work at this one?
Well,
You know that's. a-
some of the utilities will remain in our name, and some of the utilities will be in his name.
Okay.
And that's to help offset some of the cost incurred.
So are the ones that are more predictable the ones that are gonna be in our name?
The water and the power would be in our name, because
Okay, the
we're gonna
gas
continue
and
to
the other
use
will be
the
in
gas. Well, the gas nor any communications or cable or whatever
Mm-hmm.
would be needed at the garage. The power and the water would. So we're gonna keep those two.
Okay.
Because we're gonna use the garage for park and rec.
Ourselves, okay.
Yeah.
So what's he gonna cover?
He's gonna cover the gas and any, cable or whatever, and pay us a fee to live there.
Oh, okay, all right.
So, and he understands not to leave the air conditioning, running full throttle in the middle of the summer, the heat running up it, okay.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he does. He's one of the most conscientious people I know, so.
Okay, all right.
I have all the confidence in the world. So you're right, we didn't have this beforehand, and obviously we would need to, take a unanimous consent to take it up tonight, but
Well, I
I'd
mean,
like
the
to.
person wants to move on in, is that? I
Yeah,
mean,
he's ready.
Okay.
He's ready, the house is ready. So
How long is the lease?
it's a 1-year lease.
Hang on. Let me look.
Okay, let us confirm.
Let me look real quick.
I think the Powell one was a 6-month lease,
It was.
and then it went to month by month.
We don't have dates, it's blank for the date.
No, no, no. It's blank on when it will start.
Says it's month to month.
Yeah, it's a month-to-month lease.
Month to month.
Okay, so it starts at month to month. That's perfect.
This one does, yeah.
Considering
Considering the circumstances.
that
Yeah.
makes more
The
sense.
person, that's the reason, and Mr. Goldman brought this up, that's the reason we kinda went down this alley, make sure we had the, covered our end of the deal. you
Yeah,
know?
Ben helped iron this out for us.
Yeah,
Okay.
so.
Yeah, I see that right here now on the thing, so that,
Now, there were a couple of pieces of the language I didn't like. We went back and forth a little bit, and that's okay. We came to terms.
There is no rental fee?
Yeah,
It's
he's
just-
he's paying a rental fee, yes.
Yeah.
$200 a month.
Okay, I didn't see that.
it's a number 3.
It is in there.
Right here, front page.
And we apologize, we didn't get that out earlier, but we've just been kind of working on it and had holidays and all kinds of stuff going on.
Ordinance, wait a minute, this is on the other.
Oh, I think you gotta go over more.
Okay.
Yeah.
See anything gives you pause, Robbie?
Okay.
Judge is saying no.
Well, we'll keep reading on the thing. Was that the last thing on the agenda? Oh, yes, I think it's this.
We're gonna make him pay for the natural gas.
Okay, then we can take that out.
Yeah, in that line
I'll
where
make sure and change that.
says what the leaseor on utilities is responsible for, scratch line, natural gas. We're not doing the
We're
natural
not gonna do
gas.
natural gas.
The lease.
It's got a gas furnace up there?
I believe it does.
Okay,
I believe it's
Oh,
got
that's
gas,
over
heat, and
here.
water.
okay, okay.
And so we'll scratch that particular one off of that line.
Okay.
So if he wants to run at 80 in the winter, we don't mind at all.
15.
Well, I mean,
I
it's
wouldn't
not out of our
mind at
pocket.
that
That
point.
wouldn't bother me.
I wouldn't be
yeah.
able to live there.
I wouldn't either, but I'm just saying.
that's
Or
us.
windows open with it running.
No, that's us.
A lot of teens feel like that's normal.
Anyway, I think.
The
I think
windows
we-
can be opened, Dad. It doesn't matter if it's
I
winter.
think we have a document that is well in the spirit of what we wanted to do. And takes into consideration the payment and
Yeah.
different factors.
I can't, $200 rent and they don't pay the gas or water or anything like
They're
that?
paying the gas and the telecommunications, not the water and the electrical.
Well, number 15.
But we're using the water up there.
We're using water and
Yeah,
some
so we would have the
electricity.
minimum bill and everything anyway on that.
We would. We would.
The electricity's probably is the biggest.
Number 15
scenario
says,
thing.
we're the lessor.
Right.
She
That's
just
why I told you to
changed.
scratch the
shit.
line on the,
All right.
natural gas, cause that was an error.
Right. Scratch that out, John.
This tenant is basically, the main purpose is we will now have someone on site to protect our stuff up there.
That's got a lot to do with it.
Okay, I mean, there's value in here that basically
Oh,
they're
yeah.
the
A lot of value there.
overseer of the place to make sure stuff doesn't get toted off and tore up and all that jazz.
I tell you, $200 though, if that's all they're paying, that's a big fee that we're putting in there. For
Big-
a home like that, should be way on up there. And I don't mean to say we wanna do that, but
Well,
me,
our
it's
original intent was to do it
$200
without any
just a-
rental fee at all. But Ben pointed out to us that we needed to collect some sort of fee, otherwise it would have to be listed as a benefit. And we didn't want to do that, and that's where that rental fee comes in. We had a tentative agreement across the council not long ago that it would be rent-free,
Right.
but we've chosen to go this different route for the reasons I've outlined.
So
I mean, it
is
really is
still a
not gonna cost
benefit.
us, basically, this is almost a zero sum, because let's assume that the power bill is $200 a month. Again, like I said, the water we needed to have anyway. We own the property. Now, if we have to start putting a bunch of money on machinery and stuff up there, like we had to do over at the Powell House, then that'll be negative. But if assuming we don't, we're pretty much getting this place, we're keeping it occupied while we're not using it, and we're getting the benefit of having somebody up there to keep mischief
That's,
from going
that's
on in the
the
building.
key.
Yeah.
That's the
Security
key.
service, really.
Yeah.
It don't come cheap.
Mr. Mayor, I think I can say it in an HR standpoint. It's a benefit that we want to give the employee, but we cannot have it as a benefit. And we have wonderful people like Shane and Kelly to help us write that up. So we want them to be excited to work for us and take the job, but we also have to take measures to make sure that it's done correctly.
Yeah, I mean, if we,
Thank you.
if we had an open scenario where we opened it up to anybody to go
Well-
live there, they
well
might not
stated by
take
the
it.
tardy one.
Yeah, they
You know,
might
gotta
not
make a
take the
contribution.
security aspect very seriously. They might say, well, look, I'm paying all this rent, I ain't gonna worry about, I heard something tonight, but I'm not gonna go check it out. Well, I mean, this person's gonna go and be seeing what's going on.
They are. They are indeed. And I do agree with you, John. If we were renting it to any Tom, Dick, and Harry, like we're doing at the Powell House, the rent would be considerably higher. Yes.
Is this an individual, just an individual, or?
It's a family.
Family.
A family.
Oh, it is family, okay.
It's not legal now for John, for you to move in over.
Well,
Cause I was thinking the same thing.
it's one of our employees and his family.
Right.
So it's a family, but it's our employee.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
It's
no
still-
one else can
It's
do that.
still, they're still getting a very good deal.
I don't disagree. I don't disagree at all.
But we're getting something too.
yeah. I see this as a win-win.
Yeah, it's a win
And
for,
it's a
win
month.
for
I
us
can't
and a
hire
win for
somebody,
them.
I can't hire 24-hour security over there. I'm gonna get somebody over, and if he's got family members, the kids might hear stuff and everything else too.
Right.
I mean, we've had incidents up there, unfortunately, where people take motorbikes and tear up the fields, and I mean, we spent tens of thousands of dollars fixing this stuff up.
Yeah.
And, you know, they destroy it in a heartbeat.
They do.
To me, that, it's win-win.
Agreed.
And
now
really, he's 24/7. I mean, he's on there, you know, looking after it all the time.
Like I say, when it comes time for this, whoever offers it, I will ask for unanimous consent to consider it. Then we will vote on the measure. Okay? Who would like to offer it?
Well, I did the last one, so I keep throwing, but I mean, I don't mind offering this.
You are on the clock.
Is Robbie gonna do it?
And I agree with John, if this property were anywhere else, I doubt we would have bought it, for one thing, but if for some reason or another, you know, we sold the park tomorrow because somebody came in and said they want to put a new Amazon warehouse up there, and we said, hey, look, we'll take $10 million, we'll sell that thing, go build something else.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, rent would go up dramatically.
I may look dumb, but that's just a disguise. Take that
But
check and a half
this
second.
is again you know, kind of like what they used to have over at
Well, and
Turkey Creek, where, you know, the caretaker lived on the property.
And we're going to continue to use part of the property,
Right.
you know, for park and rec. To
The garage is still ours.
That's a huge part, yeah.
Yeah.
That keeps me from having to build a garage down there.
And we don't have to worry about stuff getting toted out of that garage because somebody's sleeping
not at
40
all.
feet away.
That's correct. Behind the gate.
Does that make sense?
Yeah. And he probably has two big old Rottweilers.
Now, that might be a problem.
I don't know about that.
Well, animals are
There is a
pets.
clause, there's
Yeah,
a
it says
clause
no
in there
dogs.
that it's only allowed if
Oh,
the
he
mayor
can't- he
agrees.
can't have- Yeah, you can't have animals.
No,
At the
you
mayor's
can.
discretion.
It depends.
Says it has to be approved by the mayor and deemed to be reasonable size and appropriate.
That's that
Right.
power play I got going on.
A little chihuahua. Sounds
You have to
good.
meet the animal.
Like I say, the person that's moving in, I have all the trust in the world on how he's gonna take care of the property and care about it like it was his own. The same way he manages the equipment we have and the trucks we have. He set a phenomenal example.
It's 1 month, it's month to month, like I say. If he
It
doesn't
is
do a
month to
good
month.
job, then we'll make adjustments.
It is. So you're gonna offer that. Then we're gonna talk about bingo as it pertains to our corporate limits. Chris will come forward and address our bingo situation directly. And, we'll feel free to talk about it. Cause we have a lot of inquiries here at City Hall about bingo
I can
halls.
imagine.
You know, and people going out on social media and, you know, albeit I'm just the representative of the city, but they like to say, the mayor allows this and the mayor allows that. Well, number one, I'm not omnipowerful. And none of them are in the city limits. And when they try to put one in the city limits, it gets shut down before it's even open.
Could you mention that, the
The fact that I'm not omnipowerful,
No, mention the part about that you have already had several.
oh yeah,
preemptive
Chris is
closings.
gonna address that.
You will, okay.
Yeah, Chris is
I
gonna
think
lead.
that's helpful to the public to know that, it could be much worse, I guess, although we don't like this at all. It is always a little bit,
Chris will lead the conversation off, and then we'll open the floor, and anybody's got something that you wanna say on the subject, feel free. I'll express my thoughts.
Linda is ready.
I'm ready. I'm ready to start getting people to sign up to march with me. Let's do something.
Anything else to add to the agenda before we, adjourn till the meeting?
I don't do John.
All right, well, we'll reconvene here in about 13 minutes for the regular meeting. All right, I'd like to call this meeting to order of the Pinson City Council, January 5th, 2023. Happy New Year. If you would stand for the invocation and remain standing for the pledge.
Father, we once again come to you and ask for your wisdom, your guidance, and your blessing on the city. We thank you so much for the great things that we have here, Father. Again, we ask for your protection. We thank you, Father, for the recent storms that have come through, your protection in that. Again, always be with our first responders, Father, the folks that are out protecting us. Watch over them, keep them safe. Father, we thank you for our schools. We ask that you would also continue to be with the faculty, the administration and students there at the schools, that you would also protect them, grant them the ability to be able to gain extra understanding and to be able to learn well up there at the schools. We thank you for tonight. We ask that you would be with us at this time. We ask this in your name. Amen.
Attention, salute, pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, thank you. Everyone may be seated. Madam Clerk, can we have a roll call?
Counselor Irvin.
Here.
Counselor Walker.
Here.
Counselor Roberts.
Here.
Counselor Churchwell.
Here.
Counselor
Here.
Kirkland. Mayor Cochran.
Here. And thank you to Kelly Thrasher for being here tonight from Hand Arundel, filling in for our friend Shane Black. We appreciate you being here. In case we get out of control, all you gotta do is, you can holler at us, whatever you need to do, get us under control. Counselor Kirkland.
Okay, yes, I would like to offer the waiving of the reading of the minutes as written for December the 15th
And the acceptance of those
and the
amendments.
acceptance of those meetings.
All right, I have an offer. Do we have a second?
Second.
Offer and a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? The ayes carry. Now we have a special guest, which is, I'm sure, near and dear to the hearts of all of the Pinsonians.
Pinsonites.
Mike, if you and your cohort would step up to the microphone. Waste Management's here tonight to kind of talk to us about the problems we've been having, attempted resolutions to those problems, and basically to hear our complaints. So, Mike, you have the floor.
Mayor and council, thank you very much for giving us the opportunity to come speak with you. Tonight I have Kim McLean, which is the district manager of the Birmingham district, which is over all the operations, which is makes all the plans and assignments and everything done. He'd like to address you.
All right. Thank you, my friend. Thanks for coming to the firing squad. Takes a brave man.
Oh, you're gonna stand behind me. Thanks, Mike. Yeah, so as Mike said, my name's Kevin McLean, district manager here in Birmingham, oversee all the hauling operations. I know we've had some operational concerns and issues, service issues with the residents here in Pinson, Centerpoint. And first and foremost, I want to say I do apologize, right? As a company, we strive to service our customers, place all of you guys first. Oh, sorry.
I think he's checking to see the mic's on.
Thank
or
you.
whatever.
There
It's
we
good.
go.
All right, we place all of our customers first and foremost, and we try to service all of you on the specified service days. We all know there are labor shortages that have affected our operation, getting drivers trained, hired, trained, and staying on board with our company. That I know we all continue to kind of deal with across the waste industry, transportation industry, I think every industry right now. So just looking at our plan moving forward, I know I've made several hires for new residential drivers coming on board. I have drivers right now who are in Florida being trained. They'll come back, they'll go out on their routes, they'll get trained, and it'll add to kind of our staffing and allow us to get drivers out in these trucks and out in our neighborhoods to service you.
Well, one of the questions we have asked very frequently of us, and I think it's a very reasonable question. We're paying for service we're not getting. They're missing our especially lately, recycle cans. I have reports around the city of some people going 6 weeks without having to pick up. Indeed, a month, and so on and so forth. So the remedy is to fix the problem moving forward. But when people have been paying for a service they're not receiving, what they want to know is, how do I get a refund for the time that I wasn't serviced? The most difficult part for me to understand is the company, according to the contract, the individuals have to call to get their own credit. Well, when it's this widespread, I think we should seek a different solution for that. Should seek some credit toward these people's bills across the contract. And I know that's beyond the scope of what you can authorize. But I'm just saying, for the citizens of Pinson, I think that would be an appropriate first step in mending those people who have been without service and had their can on the street for so long. I mean, these people in these neighborhoods, they want to put their can out and then that evening go get it in. But they're staying out. It diminishes the neighborhood. It makes it look bad. You have animals getting into it's just a big mess. So my request to you guys, go back to your people and say, how can you give some sort of credit to the people of Pinson for the lack of service that has been ongoing for 2 years? And I understand what the dilemmas are. But at the same time, the people's bill continues to come every quarter, and they keep paying it. So they need some recourse or something from you guys to say, we're with you, we understand, we failed, how can we make it better? Discount their bill for a quarter, something. That's my position. Again, I know you can't answer that.
Thank you. Yeah,
I
I
get
can
that.
definitely. That's something Mike and I can definitely look into. I'll definitely look into that. Bring that to my chain of command and find an answer.
Try to make some amends.
Yep.
As a responsible corporate entity to the people of Pinson. We're the ones that entered into this contract, and people get very emotional about the fact that it almost doubled when we did it. But that's been everywhere. It's not exclusive to us. We know the problems you're having in Shelby County right now. I get that too, and I know why a lot of those problems exist. So you guys are getting hit in the head pretty often. No offense to you, deservedly so. Not you in particular,
Yeah.
but you know what I'm saying.
I understand.
And our job is to fight for the people of Pinson. And we do it every day. And we try our best. And when we get the complaints, we forward them to the right people. And sometimes they get resolved. Sometimes they say they're resolved and they're not. And the people just get angrier and angrier. And pretty much my name's Mud. And that's okay. I was elected to be called Mud. I'm okay with it.
Joe Mudd.
That's fine. But that's kind of where I am with it.
Well, I certainly agree with everything the mayor's just said. I don't think that people appreciate, I brought this up at a council meeting about a month ago where I actually was asking legal about what we should do to be able to start getting some action because it had gotten that ridiculous. The staff here at City Hall also takes a lot of, because they call and they're like, hey, what's going on? You people, y'all set this up. This isn't happening. They just, nobody likes it. And so we can vouch, our ladies in the office can vouch for the phone calls that they receive.
Ladies and gentlemen.
Ladies and gentlemen, and the mayor certainly have gotten their ears full. I have my street, and we had a chance to talk before the meeting a little bit. So, in fairness, these gentlemen are very nice. So,
Well, absolutely.
again, I see hit and miss going on here. I'll give you an example. 2 weeks ago, just before Christmas, y'all have a nice system in place that lets people know if you sign up, by text, to let us know, when the service has been delayed. I've seen it before in the past where like the truck was broke down or something like that, and you guys said, hey, look, we're going to be delayed today. to let us know what was happening. I thought, man, this is pro. We know what's happening. This time, y'all basically let everybody know that the service would be on time, because I guess based on the day of the week that Christmas and New Year's was landing, and said, don't delay a day putting your cans out and that sort of thing. There was no mention ever about the fact that the recycling wasn't going to come off on time, and ironically, my recycling sat out there for 2 weeks. So I've had a running joke about the fact that some people were starting to put Christmas decorations on their garbage cans in order to give them a holiday festive look, because they were literally out there at the street so long. They were kind of like our mailboxes and stuff. So I don't know why we're not getting communication about the fact that, hey, look, our driver didn't show up, or our truck's got no wheels, or engine blew last night or something like that, in that area where we get it, and some others. I'm not sure really if you were to tell us what should citizens do. Obviously right now they're calling and harassing nicely, but they are calling and letting our staff know that things aren't working well. No one wants to sit on hold with Waste Management for 45 minutes to try to get their credit, and so it's diminishing returns start to kick in. So we would like a more comprehensive plan. Again, anybody's can at any given place, especially if they're not in a densely populated area, can be missed. We understand that, but in this case, we're talking about all over the city, over and over and over again. I mean, we drive around, we see the cans out. I can tell you exactly what streets have been missed just by driving through town and go, look, it's the same thing. As he mentioned, the animals and high wind. We had the stuff here a couple of days ago, when the storm came through, and the lid blew open on one down the street from me, and I mean, there's cardboard all up and down the middle of the street. I mean, it looks like somebody's made a giant mess, and I'm sure the neighbors are going to go out and pick it up, but they love going out there and picking up messy cardboard that's been sitting out in their can for 2 weeks. So, it's just a lot of frustration there on that. So, is your explanation, though, that, because people have asked me, they've said, what's the matter? Okay, so is your explanation basically to these folks, a staff shortage has continued? Is that why it hasn't been picked up?
Essentially, a staff shortage has continued. We've tried with several new hires on putting them on that route. So that's why on certain Thursdays you might see some services on certain streets, and then none on another.
Okay.
Just kind of trying to train the new hires, and unfortunately, as we all know, sometimes in the training program, some folks just don't make it all the way through. We are working towards getting a solidified driver to work on each Thursday to service that route and service those customers.
So y'all have some type of computer system. I mean, must be pretty sophisticated even within the drivers, because I've talked to some folks that have had trouble, have contacted me, who've been in contact with you guys directly, and they talk about the fact they have received texts along the lines of, your service was picked up at XYZ time. Ironically, it'll say like they were there at 5 o'clock in the afternoon. They really weren't there, but they were there the next morning. So it's almost like the driver is keying in and saying, yeah, I made that street, but I really didn't. I don't know how that works and all, but again,
Well,
that kind of defeats.
Robbie, I can tell you how that works.
How does this work?
You press the button.
It's not a closed loop system.
Okay.
The guy's got to push the button to say I was there. Well, they can push a button at any time and say I was there. Doesn't mean they were there.
Yeah.
Anytime you've got something like that, it tends to get pencil whipped. So it's not an ideal system. It's a great idea, but in practical application, it doesn't work.
I think the drivers need to be said, look, please don't push the button saying you've been there.
Well, they
when
do say
you're
that.
not.
They do say that.
I'm
That's
sure
in
they're
their
trained on
training
that,
manual.
Robert. I just don't
But-
think they do.
And for our policy, I mean, if they do something like that, that's along the lines of falsifying documentation, and I mean that's dealt with disciplinary action. I can assure you that.
Well, it's going on, and it's gone on in the last few weeks here in Pinson. I can tell you that. From individuals I've
Yeah,
spoken
but
to.
like I say, knowing how systems like that work, I know how people are. And anytime you introduce the human condition to that situation, it's open for pencil whipping. These
You're
guys
right.
want to pick up garbage. They don't want push buttons.
Yeah.
I mean, just the mentality.
I assume there's something GPS or something on there, so you know when someone's not paying their bill,
Yes,
so that
so-
you're like, hey, look, I pulled up at this place, they've got their can out there, but they're, 60 days behind. We may not be picking up their trash. The driver knows that and says, I'm not picking it up today.
So if a customer does see that where it says in the system that, okay, it was serviced at 5 PM, the one thing that the driver cannot do is falsify the location of where he pressed that button at.
Okay.
Right? So, you call into customer service, they'll say, hey, we serviced you at 5 PM, 5:01, 5:02, whatever it was. And then, say, no, we weren't. They go in the system and double check to see where that confirmation was made of service. And if it wasn't on the same street in front of that address, that's where we'll generate a missed pickup ticket, and then we'll go back and pick up that customer.
Okay, good.
Yes. So
What's
we do have a
the,
way to track that.
what's the average wait time to customer service?
I don't have that information
Okay.
readily
I,
available.
I think that's very important because we're getting recommendations, call customer service. Nobody's staying on hold for 20, 30, 40 minutes.
That should not happen at this point. We have close to 125 CSRs in place now. And so there should not be a long wait time.
Okay.
Well,
How many hoops?
I would remind the public as well, if you get bad information from a CSR with the company, let us know. We will let them know. They can go back and check those records. Because we've had citizens say, I called and they told me, oh, well, Pinson doesn't have recycle. Well, we do. And stuff like that.
Yes, sir.
Whether that's true, whether that's not, I'm not sure. But they do have a way of checking to see if that is true. So if you have someone give you false information or a bad vibe, let us know. We'll let Mike know. They can do an investigation.
Yeah, so we tape every call. And what we'll do is we will go back to that call and listen to it and use it as a training tool to correct the situation.
I feel confident in that. I do.
Yeah, they always remind me that it's being taped for training purposes.
For
I think
quality
they're trying to
and
make sure I don't yell
quality
too
and
loud.
training.
Yes, that's what we do.
I always,
They don't want me to yell.
I always thought they were taping mine for entertainment purposes. And I view it that way, and that's the way I approach it.
My heart goes out to you guys.
Thank you.
It's everywhere. And I know all the citizens know this. They do. I mean, you can't, anything you try to buy or order, it's either, a lot of times you get it wrong, it's late, or it's, it's out of stock, but you go into stores, you can't get waited on, and so I understand you have a shortage, and I don't know the answer to do it, and I'm sure y'all doing everything you can, but
Thank you.
got
Thank you.
all these
Yeah.
citizens paying money, Joe's right, so we gotta figure out something, I'm sure y'all will, I'm sure you'll figure it out, do the right thing, everybody be happy.
We have another little problem too with it, and it's not so little, but, we encourage our citizens to put out their trash and their recycle and not put it in the road, put it on the side of the road. But, and they don't always do that, okay? But we've had it a lot of times where the garbage service, when they come, if they do pick it up, they set the can back in the middle of the road almost. So, we encouraging one thing and another thing is happening too. So, the people don't know what to do or where to turn.
Councilman, the truck, when it's serviced, it's an automated truck. There is some human skill involved, but it's an automated truck. As an arm goes out, picks up the can. When it sets the can down, it sets it down exactly where it picked it up. Now, as far as there could be wind or somebody could roll, but the driver's gonna pick it up in one spot and put it down in that exact same spot because it's automated.
Mike, I will tell you, when it sits down, the amount of force that it uses, it doesn't always just sit.
No.
I think that's the problem, because I have seen it when I'm literally sitting right there, and it comes down. It is in the exact same spot, but it comes down with so much force on an empty can, it then tumbles over or falls, or now we're not in the same spot.
And I don't know what percentage it is, but we're still having the problem with the trucks that are not automated. They have the person on there that gets out and empties it and then sets it back down right in the middle of the road.
Well, that's,
There's a little bit of that I have seen. And I'm sure that's fill-in drivers, fill-in trucks. But that does occur. All right. I think, I could be wrong, but I think we have sufficiently beat these guys about the head.
We did a great job.
Now, I appreciate you guys being gracious enough to come here tonight and address it for Pinson, because people want to hear. And anybody wants to hear this now, if they're not watching it live, they can always go back and watch it whenever they want. I thank you for having the courage to walk up here and take our abuse and take my message back to the company, if you don't mind, Mike, about that credit. I think that would be an appropriate way to handle this, to help the people in Pinson.
I think it'd be much more straightforward than the manner that I might be suggesting soon, and that is I'm going to unilaterally start making sure my next payment is lower and deciding my own figure, and then getting into a big argument with your billing folks. So, yeah, I think that'd be much more streamlined. So,
We appreciate it, guys.
thank you very much.
Thank you.
You guys are feel free to leave the building if you want to. Chris is available somewhere in the back if you need an escort.
Thank you.
Pinson, he can help you. But
Thank you
thank
so
y'all for
much. I
coming.
appreciate it.
thank you.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
All right, moving on. Counselor Urban.
I would like to propose a motion to pay the bills in the amount of $58,568.86.
I have a motion. Do we have a second?
Second.
Motion and a second. Any questions or comments on these bills?
I don't have any comments. We don't have anything out of the ordinary.
All right. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Ayes carried. We shall pay the bills. Good thing I've already signed the checks.
Yeah.
Under the mayor's report, I would like to reappoint Chris Esquire to the Planning and Zoning Commission. His tenure had expired, so we're going to re-up him. That is apparently for me to do, so there you have it. That is done. All right, now on to the janitorial bid. We talked about this pretty extensively in pre-council, so I don't think it requires a great deal more conversation. But the resolution in front of you, Councilor Walker.
Yes, I would like to offer a resolution authorizing the mayor to enter into contract with Vanguard Services, I believe it is,
Cleaning system.
Vanguard Cleaning Systems, to clean our city buildings as specified in the contract for the amount of $4,181 per month.
All right, I have an offer. Do we have a second?
Second.
I have an offer and a second. Any other conversation about this particular resolution, guys? All right, none. Let's have a roll call vote on the main resolution.
Counselor Irvin?
Yes.
Counselor Walker?
Yes.
Counselor Roberts?
Yes.
Counselor Churchwell?
Yes.
Counselor Kirkland?
Yes.
Mayor Cochran?
Yes, and this service should start Monday. Eric is dealing with that in his new capacity. All right. Moving on, Councilor Roberts on the tax holiday.
Yes, we've done this in the past, and I would hope that we would want to do this in the future, but the state of Alabama would like to have folks be prepared for emergency weather situations. So in order to help people be able to have the right items that they might need, they have a sales tax holiday to make these items a little more affordable. We also do the same thing during back-to-school time to kind of help out the parents with the school kids' supplies that they need to have. So I would like to propose a ordinance from the city of Pinson to exempt certain covered items from the municipal sales and use tax on the third weekend of July 2023, as authorized by the Code of Alabama. And then I would also like to including also certain emergency preparedness items tax holiday under another act, and that would be for February 24th through 26th, 2023.
Have an offer. Do we have a second?
Second?
Offer and a second. Roll call vote for unanimous consent, please.
Counselor Irvin?
Yes.
Counselor Walker?
Yes.
Counselor Roberts?
Yes.
Counselor Churchwell?
Yes.
Counselor Kirkland?
Yes.
Mayor Cochran?
Yes, and you consent passes. Any other questions or comments, guys? Pretty straightforward, been doing it for years. Roll call vote on the main ordinance, please.
Counselor Irvin?
Yes.
Counselor Walker?
Yes.
Counselor Roberts?
Yes.
Counselor Churchwell?
Yes.
Counselor Kirkland?
Yes.
Mayor Cochran?
Yes, and that passes as ordinance number 2023-01. You shall be exempt on those days. All right, and last on the documents on the agenda, Counselor Roberts.
Yes, but also, we have a piece of property that we purchased up by the school, by the
Ballpark.
ballpark. And that particular piece of property is not being used currently. We would like to get it occupied. We would like to have it occupied by an individual who would be overlooking and making sure that the property stays in good shape up there. So I would like to make a motion to approve an ordinance to allow the, I won't go through all of this right here, but basically an ordinance to allow the city to lease the real property that is located at 7520 Fawcett Cutoff Road, Benson.
I have an offer. Do we have a second?
Second.
Offer and a second. We'll need unanimous consent to consider.
Counselor Irvin?
Yes.
Counselor Walker?
Yes.
Counselor Roberts?
Yes.
Counselor Churchwell?
Yes.
Counselor Kirkland?
Yes.
Mayor Cochran?
Yes. You consent passes. Any other questions or comments, guys? All right, seeing none, roll call vote on the main ordinance.
Counselor Irvin?
Yes.
Counselor Walker?
Yes.
Counselor Roberts?
Yes.
Counselor Churchwell?
Abstain.
Counselor Kirkland?
Yes.
Mayor Cochran?
Yes, that passes as ordinance number 2023-02. That brings us to the time on our agenda where we were going to talk about bingo. And I'm not talking about a dog. Chris, if you would,
I will.
identify yourself for the fair citizens of Pinson.
Oh, well, I'm Chris Sherritt with the City of Pinson. If you didn't know, I'm the zoning administrator. I just wanted to clarify a few things with y'all because I haven't seen you lately. We get several complaints and calls every day and every week to City Hall and on social media about electronic bingo in the City of Pinson. The city does have an ordinance against electronic bingo. We do not have any electronic bingo facilities operating in the city limits unless one opened today, and that's possible because they pop up that
Like
quick.
Dollar Generals.
We have actually shut down physically in the last few months, shut down 3. One, Captain Horn called me. They were putting one up right beside the fire station. We went over that morning, told them there's ordinance against it, and they left. It's not an issue closing with us, but we do have to answer to a lot of this. In the City of Pinson, we do not have electronic bingo because it is illegal and is against our ordinances. We've shut them down, and we will continue to shut them down. And I would just like everybody to know, if you know of one, call and let us know where it's at, because we do have a lot of them that appear to be in the city. Those pieces of property are not in the city limits, therefore we cannot enforce our ordinance on that piece of property or on that business.
Thank you, Chris. That brings us to the next point. The only person that can deal with those unincorporated areas outside of our city limit is the sheriff of Jefferson County, Mark Petway. He was recently reelected. I've read comments from Sheriff Petway that said he's not dealing with this. He's going to focus on violent crime. Well, I know of robberies that have happened in these places, armed robberies. I know of shootings that have occurred in these places. And if that's not violent crime, please define it for me. I have talked to Sheriff Petway, as have many city leaders around this county. I have talked to Steve Marshall, our Attorney General. I can't for the life of me understand why our sheriff will not enforce these rules, and other sheriffs in other counties will. There's a lot of rumor and innuendo out there, and I'm not getting into any of that. But at the end of the day, it's a blight on our community. I would also call on our state legislature to change the ruling on how it's classified. Right now, it's a misdemeanor it should be a felony. And the only people that can make that happen are our representatives. Shay Shellnut, our senator, Danny Garrett, people like that. They're the ones that make the law in the state of Alabama. We can make a law down there that will not allow our municipality to change the name of a building, which is stupid. But we can't deal with this. Get your priorities right. Deal with the problems in the state of Alabama. Goes all the way from the legislature to the attorney general to the sheriff's department. Those are the responsible people. We can't make them do their job, but the citizens can. You can demand they do their job, and the squeak wheels usually gets the grease. I've squeaked all I can. I'm gonna continue to squeak, but at the end of the day, it's up to Sheriff Petway to do this job. If he chooses not to do it, that's on him. More comments?
I would love to ask the sheriff if he's receiving any monies from these bingo parlors, or any of his officers or his brothers or family members. Because you follow the money and you're going to find out the problem, where it's at. And I think it's time that we follow the money and that we demand to know if he's, who's getting the money on this. I know the state gets a big chunk. I mean, we heard that in a meeting at breakfast or luncheon one day, remember?
Well, I don't think they get it off these bingo halls necessarily.
Well, what I was told, they go in there and they read them, and if it's $10 million, they get a 2% cut or something that goes to the state. Joe Knight said, that's a lot of money we get, that's given to the city for this. So I think it's time we ask some hard questions, and if it's stepping on toes, so what? That's what we're here for. So let's find out. Let's get to the bottom of it.
Fair enough.
And I would
Yes,
like
John.
to wholeheartedly agree with everything that the mayor said on that today. I appreciate what he's done, and like you say, we all need to be a little more involved in that. But it's ridiculous to have a situation like that, and we cannot get any help or not really any attention from the sheriff. So I think that, we need to stay by calling in to the sheriff's office, if nothing else, and giving a complaint.
Absolutely. Robbie?
I totally agree with that too. I think the mayor has very eloquently articulated the problem that we face here. Whatever your personal opinion is about gambling, that's fine, but the fact of the matter is these places are lowering the value of our community. They look tacky. I mean, I don't know what it is about these places, but they seem to just have tacky written all over them. Big flashing lights, signs out there. Just yesterday, I saw a handmade sign on Sweeney Hollow Road telling us to come and visit the new, or maybe it's been there for a little while, come visit the hall that's on Tyler Loop Road.
Point of order. We shall deal with that sign tomorrow.
Yeah, I think the sign actually is in our city limits. We have a sign ordinance. This is definitely out of compliance. It's gotten ridiculous. I mean, that's just the bottom line. The sheriff may have thought when he only had one or two bingo halls, perhaps owned by family members, that it wouldn't be that big a deal. But the problem though is that bingo halls are now coming up literally everywhere, every little place you can find. I don't know how in the world there's that many customers for these places. But there seems to be a high profit, and people think they can just come in and slap them up. They're putting them up in every nook and cranny, and it's just tacky as can be. And a new one is literally appearing about every week. We are not the only municipality facing this problem. Out in West Jefferson, it is a joke. I mean, it's like a strip of bingo halls up and down through there. So
Clay's dealing with it. Everybody's dealing with it.
yeah, it's totally out of control. The sheriff, I would encourage the sheriff to show some responsibility, begin to reconsider his position, and to show some courage, and to perhaps come and address this council regarding this. We had the trash collection guys come And they were willing to face up the music. It'd be nice to see the sheriff come down here too, especially since he was just reelected.
Sure. This end of the room?
I agree with Counselor Roberts. It's regardless how you feel about gambling, you know, it looks bad in our communities. It is tacky looking. We like to keep our communities up and looking nice so people want to visit us, and offer nice things to people that do come visit. Just like us, you know, we serve at the will of the people as elected officials. So does the sheriff, and so does our legislature. It is your voice that makes a difference. It is your voice when you call the legislature, when you call the sheriff's department, when you call us. You usually get action from us, I hope. So from what I can tell, you usually get action out of us. And I would hope we'll get the same thing out of our state legislators and our sheriff. So.
You're the lone wolf down there.
I don't have anything to add. I think everybody has said everything.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Well, that's all I really got to say about it. Anything else you guys want to talk about before we go to the vote?
It's illegal. I mean, that's the bottom line of the matter. It's illegal. I don't know why in the world it keeps continuing.
Well, I'll say this. You know, I'm a
Even if
Catholic.
it is a Methodist.
I'm a Catholic.
Methodist, I'm sorry. Even if it is a
and
misdemeanor.
I don't really care if somebody wants to gamble, but the state needs to regulate it and make it so.
Right.
And so far, they've just crawfished and not done anything to resolve the problem. And we need their help. We really do. The people who live in these areas with a lot of county next to you, we're the ones seeing all this. It's a lot of blight. It's not a welcome to Pinson when you come down 79 and see all these bingo halls.
I mean, if we're gonna have gambling, let's have gambling.
Let's do it.
Let the big casinos come in where they feed you to come in and gamble. You know? They feed
Well,
you nice
my
meals.
understanding is some of these guys will give you a Snickers bar and a soda.
Oh, right.
So, I mean, smaller scale. But
I'm sure they're getting fed. We got a restaurant that just turned into a gambling hall. I would hope they're at least selling food in there.
any rate, I think it's a very serious problem in our county, not just out here, but all over. And I appreciate everybody's words tonight. All right, now it's the time on the meeting where we go to the public comment. I know Deidre wanted to come up and do a presentation. That's fine. Name and address.
Deidre Hurdle Ruff, and my address is 4055 Ruff Road. I wanted to present this to the city of Pinson. It is from my family's church, Alpha United Ministry, and it's just an award of appreciation. The city has always been good to my family, and they've been here all their life, and they just wanted to do something to give back and to say thank you, so.
We appreciate that.
Yeah. Also, I wanted to let everybody know that Pinson Valley Arts Council is doing another event, and it is for Valentine's Night, Tuesday, February 14th. And it is going to be a dinner and dancing. And most importantly, it's going to be what we call heart and soul. And basically, we're asking couples to come out. Everybody's going to be looking for something to do for dinner, for Valentine's night. Well, come and support Pinson Valley Arts Council. What we're doing is we're doing dinner, we're having live entertainment, and we're asking each person that come to bring a pair of shoes or a pack of socks. We're got a bin that we're going to collect shoes and socks, and we're giving that to homeless people that live right here in Pinson. And I hope that you all know that there are homeless people in Pinson. And so this is the reason why we're going to do this, and we're going to have a separate day where we'll feed them and have them come out and get the shoes, or socks, whatever they need. And so if you guys would please support us. I mean, this is something that Pinson Valley Arts Council is doing for the city to help us, to help others. And
We
it
appreciate
is
that.
Yes, and I put it on the What's Happening in Pinson page. the information on it. Again, it's Valentine's night, February the 14th. It's a Tuesday. It's from 7 to 9. It will be dinner, and it will be live entertainment. The proceeds are going to be used to turn around and help the homeless that are right here in Pinson.
We appreciate that, Deidre.
All right.
Where, sorry, go ahead.
You got it.
Where's that gonna be? Okay.
And
Rock
what's the
School Center.
attire?
The attire is, it's a date night, pretty much. It's Valentine's night, so you just wear whatever. It's $25 per couple, and if individuals come, it's $15 for that individual,
All right,
and it's dinner.
The mic can't hear you.
It is $25 per couple, and it's $15 for individuals. And we will have dinner and live entertainment, and it's only from 7 to 9. Again, it's Valentine's night. Everybody's looking for something to do, so come back to the city and help us help the homeless in the city. All right? And it's going to be right next door at Rock Church.
Any
Rock
other
School.
questions?
School. Rock School.
All right, thank you. Deidre.
Thank you. And who do I
My,
give
my
this to?
apology, I dismissed you before I asked council if they had questions. That's on me.
So they pay at the door.
Yeah, here's. That way they'll have a hard copy.
I got you.
And you have yours too?
We have,
Yes, it's, yes, you would pay at the door, but we're asking if you decide to come, if you could contact me so that we can get a head count, so that we can make sure that we have enough food for everybody.
not serving chicken McNuggets, right?
No.
Just making sure. I like chicken McNuggets, but,
No, sir. It's a dinner.
okay.
It is a dinner.
Any other questions? All right, thank you. Anyone else that would like to address council? Allison? You're good? Chris, you got nothing?
Yes, sir, I do. Been seeing that look
Chris
my
Horn,
whole,
ladies
I've
and
been
gentlemen,
seeing
Chris
that
Horn.
look my whole life. Chris Horn, Center Point Fire. I apologize, I have not been here, you know, it's basketball season. If anybody's been to a basketball arena, I had no comments from you going outside.
Do you get cursed at on a daily basis?
I try not to listen to it, but sometimes it's the deputies that are there that
They are a problem.
they're the worst, and two of them are standing at the back of the room right now.
Well, let me interject while you're saying that right now. I don't know if everybody in Penson's aware, but Coach Barber's team, Pinson Valley Varsity Boys, are the #1 ranked team in the state,
That's correct.
regardless of classification.
That's correct.
They're the real deal. Friday night they play Clay up here. I would invite everybody to come to that game if you want to see some real exhibition of a great basketball team.
And speaking of one of the teams you just spoke of, Clay, I had them last night. They played Huffman, and it was not a blowout game like they thought. It was a tighter game, and tighter on my legs too that I thought it was going to be. Anyway, so I apologize for that. I've been on the road, and I've our new fire chief. He is in a class tonight. He's had us in classes, so I've been since our end of our year. I want to go ahead and just tell you this: we ran 10,383 calls. That is up from last year, almost 400 calls.
That's disappointing, yet we appreciate it.
Yes, sir. And that is all of our stations. Since the last probably we have met, we have promoted a new captain at Fire Station number 2 on Highway 79. We also have promoted 2 new lieutenants at Highway 79. I know that I've been here 35 years. Anybody that's, we had 1 lieutenant captain that she made the rank of captain. She was a female. So we have promoted a female to lieutenant. And she is on Highway 79. She's been with us now over 3 years. She's going to do very well for us down there, so we appreciate her. Training center, we have actually had some in-house training down there. If you've been by there and see our next phase, we're already got it leveled out. We're fixing to pour concrete. And we have had some classes down there, and it's working out great. As soon as I get this next phase done, a fence will be going up around the facility, And then we're gonna have a open house down there pretty soon. So we appreciate everything y'all have done to help us with that, and continue to help us with that, because we're gonna need some helping coming up. I want to say thanks to Eric for helping me with the contact of, we did order some light poles that y'all ordered for the park. That was a good contact for us to find. That's gonna save us some money also by using those light poles out there, because we need it for security right now.
Good.
Any questions?
Thanks for what you guys do for us.
Thank you.
Thank you, Chris. All right, anyone else that would like to address council tonight? All right, seeing none, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
So move.
I have a motion. Do we have a second?
Second.
Motion and a second at that end of the table. All those in favor say aye. Aye. All opposed? Let the record reflect